Hello and welcome to FatbossTV.
Hello.
Today we are looking at the Bloodmaul Slag mines on the Warlords of Draenor Alpha.
Yeah, so the alpha's out. I'm super hype about this. I actually haven't ran through this instance. You did, didn't you?
Yep.
So I don't really know what's going on in here. So you're kind of showing me the ropes of what the hell's going on.
That's right. So yeah, this is one of the 8 instances that will be heading our way.
Yeah.
And it's sort of the Jade Temple. So to start off, it's in Frostfire Ridge, which is the Horde starting area. It's between levels of 90 to 93. And it does consist of 4 total bosses. And 3 of the bosses are situated in like cavern-y areas, but there is one boss that is on a bridge.
A bridge boss.
And he's within this sort of red circle you see there, and he's awesome.
I'm looking forward to the bridge boss. So I see a lot of fire, a lot of ogres, and some poor enslaved miners. What's going on, Lawrence?
Yeah, so that's what you're here to do. You're here to save the Alliance and Horde miners.
Oh, okay.
Essentially. There will be quests for this place, but right now on the Alpha there is no quest at all.
Okay.
So to start off, we're going to talk about the trash in this place. As you can tell, it's mainly ogres.
Right, yeah.
However, that's because we've gone on the right-hand side of the instance towards the slave quarters. There is actually a slag quarters on the left-hand side, like a slag forge even.
Yep.
But you can decide right at the start which way you want to go. You can either go left or right. We decided to go right in this group. And as you can see, the trash in here, it's pretty nasty. We did actually pull, I think it's sort of 3 packs here, because there is patrols in this area that walk ridiculously quick.
Oh god, patrols. Dead mines all over again,
Yeah.
those vanilla days, man. Okay, so you got to deal
It's
with that
dead mines
stuff.
and crack. They move so quick.
I saw that they were doing like an ability that was like stunning you for 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's a cast called Subjugate, and basically you need to interrupt it or dispel it.
Okay.
We didn't do very well because we had too many packs, and everyone's stuck on 500 item level.
Alright.
After we managed to finally get through that, we did get to the end of the slave quarters, and that's where we came across this guy, which is the boss in this area called Crush 2.
Oh, Crush 2, my best friend. How are you doing? So, what's his abilities? What's he all about?
Well, he's not completely finished just yet.
Oh, okay. Well, it is very early alpha.
Of course. The only abilities that he's doing, it's sort of like 50% of his arsenal. At least that's what's listed on the dungeon journal. There's loads of other abilities, like he's supposed to jump around on people. But he wasn't doing this, so all he was doing a shockwave on the ground that didn't actually do any damage or anything, but I assume it's going to stun people and knock people up in the air, and all he did was spawn miners. The miners will actually apply quite a nasty debuff on the tank.
Oh, okay.
That not only increases the damage that he takes, but also stacks a bleed.
Oh, right.
I assume it stacks. We didn't actually get the opportunity to see if it stacks because we sort of killed the miners too quick. They don't really have a lot of health.
Yeah, you've got Elemental Shaman and Shadow Priest. Those ads are gone, man.
Yeah.
The ads are gone.
But that was more or less him. He was relatively boring, to be fair, because he doesn't really have too many mechanics going on right now. And he dropped like the most ridiculously looking polearm you've ever seen.
That looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow,
I think that's pretty awesome.
Well, you can't use that, can you? And your priest. Oh, wrong character.
I was pretty sad.
Yeah, I would have been sad as well. I would have picked that up on my hunter and just used it. So this is like the slag quarters by the looks of it.
Yeah,
there's a lot of
this
fire.
is the slag forge. We're on the left-hand side. The trash packs over here are a little bit more interesting, got a little bit more to them. You sort of have to move from environmental effects as well as all these fire tornadoes that are being spawned by the big magma lord here.
Oh god, look, there's like loads of fire coming out the forges and everything. That's crazy. And there's ogres from the sky?
Yeah, there's ogres that are sort of being held up by ropes in the sky.
What, against their will? I thought the ogres are running the place. This instance makes no sense. Talking of ogres, is this the other boss then?
Yeah, so this is the Forge Master in this area. He isn't actually the boss. Well, I mean, he's part of the boss encounter, but he's not the boss himself. All this guy will do is just spawn little puddles of magma on the ground. Okay. By doing his magma barrage, you can't actually interrupt us. You just got to avoid all the shit on the ground. However, he will spawn ads. These ads don't really seem to be a problem. Well, especially the Earth Elemental, it's only really a problem for the tank more than anything else. He will do like a cross formation of spikes that travels across the ground, but that's pretty easy to avoid. And he'll also do a shockwave around himself towards the tank.
Oh, okay.
Now, as the Forge Master does actually get lower health, he seems to spawn ads quicker.
Okay. So
or it might be at set health intervals.
Is it best just to nuke him, do you think? Or do you think it's better to deal with the ads
Probably just
as well?
deal with the ads. However, the ads are quite easy to deal with because you can stun them and you can interrupt them. And the mechanics are relatively simple.
Okay.
But once you have got this guy down, I don't know if you can see in the forge behind him.
There's someone cooking in the oven.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, and out he comes in a second. Oh, there he is.
It is the boss.
Oh, wow. That new model, man. I think that's new anyway.
I think it is as well, yeah. I don't think...
It's looking pretty cool.
So he works kind of similar to the ads that the previous boss spawned, as well as the boss himself.
Okay.
So not only will he do the cross formation of spikes, and the ads that he spawns will also do the cross formation of spikes.
Oh, gosh.
He'll also spawn fires just like his ads will also spawn fires.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it. But the main problem with him is that he actually does a really high amount of tank damage.
Oh, okay. So you've got to keep your tank up.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
He hits the tank pretty damn hard, so you need to make sure that you keep the tank up. Because we are on alpha, you do keep getting disconnected quite a lot. So we actually wiped on this boss a lot of times.
Oh, right. Okay.
Don't think we even got footage of us actually killing him because we killed him while we were all offline.
Oh.
I think he actually died of dots and whatnot.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, that's MLG. I've done that quite a lot as well. I've been leveling, killing stuff while being offline, or at least dying while I'm offline.
As you can see, as the fight goes on, things seem to get a little bit more hectic, especially as ads start to spawn, and the damage, even though the damage doesn't ramp up, the damage is quite high that you feel like you're almost feeling behind. Especially our monk healer, who was doing a great job, and he still felt like maybe he was struggling a little bit because of the damage.
But it looks like a lot of this damage is avoidable, and I really do like that in boss fights, where like you will get destroyed if you don't move. So yeah, that's really good. I think that's nice for, especially for an early 5-man. It looks like the abilities are quite easy to avoid, and they're quite simple. It's like, oi, look, fire, move from it. Talking of which, is this the bridge boss?
This is the bridge boss. So after you have cleared the left and the right side, you can walk down towards this guy, the third boss.
Okay, cool. So like, what's he all about? He's of course got the new model and he looks awesome, Source.
Okay, so he has sort of 3 main mechanics, one of them being Hell Boulder.
Right, so okay, so he's just lobbing a bunch of boulders at you, like it looks like in like 3 lines.
Yeah, so he puts in 3 different locations. They either put in the middle, the left, or the right.
So this is like some Mario-esque kind of thing going on right now.
Yeah, if you get hit by these boulders, not only do you take a relative amount of damage, you also take a pretty nasty stun.
Oh, okay, and he also knocks you back. That's so cool.
Yeah, Heatwave. It's a really cool mechanic, but he also does this.
He sets the bridge on fire.
Yep.
Okay.
And he sets it on fire in certain locations. And the great thing about this mechanic is that the fire never despawns.
Right.
Which means that you need to kill the boss before the entire platform's set on fire. And obviously all the fire prevents you from moving into certain areas to avoid the boulder mechanic.
Well, of course, you could always just, like, you got to kind of make a decision. Should I go... Oh, that guy's having a bit of trouble with the boulders, isn't he?
Yep.
Either I could go into the fire and avoid the boulder, or just get slapped in the boulder, like, in the face, you know?
And the heatwave also pushes you back into the fires as well.
Right, as you could,
and on top of this, like, the boss seems to do a pretty nasty amount of tank damage as well.
Oh god, your poor monk healer, man.
Yep.
He just thought it'd be fun to jump on the alpha for a little bit, see what healing's like, and he's thrown into this. Oh, so there's more and more fire spawning all the time.
Yep.
That'll be so cool if the bridge gets completely covered in fire and it just collapses. And
that would be a pretty cool enrage mechanic.
Incoming heroic mechanic.
This is still a really cool enrage mechanic in my opinion.
This is a really cool
So I
fight.
struggled here. I actually got hit.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot going on. That is amazing. Considering this is an alpha boss, this looks pretty good. Like if that was on live right now, I wouldn't say.
That's better than most 5-man bosses we've got right now.
It's better than most raid bosses we have right now.
I'd agree with you on that. And of course, we had to check to see if you could jump off the side.
Oh, poor Hobbs, man. He had to take the fall. He was doing the alpha testing, was he?
Yeah.
See, just to make sure that you could jump off the sides. Taking one for the team.
So after you have finished that boss and killed a little trash pack, you do actually come to the final room, where you meet the final boss, which is Gugrock. But before you can get to him, there are a few more trash packs. There's nothing much to him. We actually just pulled everything in AoE'd it all down. It wasn't too much of a problem. Do have a lot of health, though, these trash packs. But yeah, relatively simple. Not much to it. But
the room looks amazing.
Yeah, the final boss room does look awesome, yeah.
So, what's this whole guy about? Because we've got a lot of fire going along. I imagine he's going along the same lines as fire.
He's very similar to the second boss with some of his mechanics. He'll spawn lots of fires on the ground that you have to avoid. And like the third boss, the fires do not despawn.
Okay, so the room slowly fills up with more and more fire.
Yeah, but it's not really as much of a problem as the third boss because you have far more room to work with.
Okay.
But one thing he will do is spawn an ad, and these ads do actually quite a large amount of pulsing AoE damage to your group.
Okay.
But not only that, they'll start moving towards one of the furnaces around the sides.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If it does meet one of those furnaces, it will start doing even more damage to the raid.
Oh, wow.
So you need to make sure that you do kill the ad before it reaches it. And not only that, the boss also does a cast on the tank that does a huge amount of damage, and every time it does land, the Molten Blast is which it's called, it will also apply a stack on himself that increases his damage by 10%.
Yeah, I see there's a magic effect that you could dispel.
Yeah, if it gets to 3 stacks, him, like the ads, would also do a large amount of AoE damage to the raid.
Oh, God.
But I think that does actually consume the stacks as well.
Okay.
I didn't actually have Dispel on my bars. I had Master Spell, so I was using that because I'm bad. But that sort of seemed to keep it down. But this boss, that's more or less all it is with this boss. It's just dealing with the ads, making sure the ads don't get to the furnaces, keep the boss stacks down. The boss, again, like the previous bosses, does hit the tanks really, really hard. So you kind of need to be on your toes a bit when you are healing this. But yeah, it's a relatively simple boss, but it's still quite a nice way to finish the instance.
He does seem to have quite a lot of health. Like I saw when you pulled him, he had like 1.2 million health. Although now that's like timeless style shit.
Yeah.
Like you got to remember, stat squish, your damage is terrible.
No,
so that's quite a lot of health. There's quite a lot for you to deal with, considering it's the first dungeon. I think that's really, really good.
Yeah. And considering it's so early, it does
exploded there, yeah.
It does feel very complete.
Yeah.
Considering, so
that's amazing. Wow.
Yeah,
this whole instance looks amazing.
Yeah.
They released this now as it was like a little content update. I would say it's better than anything else that's on live. So that's really, really cool.
So there we go. There's the slag mines, guys. If you guys did enjoy the video, please make sure that you do subscribe. Me and Alex, of course, are going to be covering the other 7 dungeons when they come out, as well as all the other Warlords content.
As well as we're going to be live streaming a hell of a lot of it as well over on the Twitch channel. So there's links to that in the description below as well. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and we will see you next time.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.